Hi, and welcome back to the Swedish Linux. Linux the right way. So, now we're going to talk about one of the two topics today. Windows 11 Pro advertisement inside Windows 11 Pro. So, let's start. Here you see under the settings menu inside Windows 11 Pro, you see the first advertisement of Game Pass and Microsoft Office 365. And it's a big problem. I will come back to that. Here you see your account, you have it again. And here on the home section, which is of course in Swedish, but home is the English version, you have it as well. And for now, it's not a big problem. But this is the principle called boiling the frog alive. And what is that? That is basically, if you put a frog in a pot with hot water, it will jump out straight away. But if you put it in a cold water and slowly putting up the degree of the water, the frog won't jump out. And sooner or later you reach the boiling point and the frog will be boiled. This is the same thing with us. Microsoft is letting us get used to advertisement. So when it starts to push some other company's advertisement, we will already be immune to it and accept it. It won't be a big deal for us. At least that's what Microsoft is hoping on. And this is how they're doing. They're putting it very easy into the system so it doesn't stand out in a bad way or prompting you so it irritates you, because then they know the people would react. So they put it very subtle into it, and it's very nicely done, because you won't react, because you will see it as part of the menu. And even inside app, this is Outlook, the old version. It's advertising to test the new one. But I have the same thing in Outlook Pro version, which I have the Office Suite 21 Pro edition, which Outlook Pro is included. And I have exactly the same in there, that they want me to try this new version. I don't want that. I bought Office 2021 with Outlook because I need that. I don't need the new version, because the new version has much more limits than the old version. But that's another discussion. And this is how Microsoft is going to try to rip out the hard-earning dollars you do, with more advertisement pushing down your throat. And I can't accept that. That was the final straw for me, that Microsoft is pushing advertisement, like you see here, down my throat. Even this Windows license I have bought, this is a Windows 11 Pro workstation that should be without advertisement. Now, after the latest update, starts to get advertisements. And this is the final straw for me. Thanks, I used Linux almost full time since 2018. And I had a dual boot because some things unfortunately need to do in Windows. But pretty much everything else I do on Linux. And the only thing I need to do on Windows is printing, because my Canon LBP 6200 does not work for some reason in Linux. Only Linux version that works is Ubuntu, but any other Linux does not work. Why? Don't ask me. Many people try to figure it out. But if you know a solution how to make Canon 6200 LBP 6200 to work in OpenSUSE, please let me know in the field down below, because I really love to completely throw out Windows, which I have now in a virtual machine. So this is one of the steps. Another step is the Windows is collecting tons of information of you, telemetry. Yes, I've heard it before. You can turn it off, yeah, but every major update like this one in October 23H2 resets that, and you need to re-enable all the telemetry that you want to block. If not, it starts to collect. And I mean, it's not enough for Microsoft to steal other information about you. I mean, it's tons of video on YouTube and articles around the internet that can show you in exactly detailed how Microsoft is collecting tons of information of you. And they're making money of it. But you don't get a dime back. So now is even worse with advertisement inside Windows. And for me, personally, it's the end of Microsoft era in my house. And remember, I've been using computer since the beginning of 1990. And that's a long time. And I've used every Windows operating system. But since Windows 10, it's dramatically changed how Microsoft is sucking all the bits it can from you. The last really good operating system that was what I would say private in the eyes of Microsoft was Windows 7. It slowly started in Windows 8, but definitely took off in Windows 10, and now you can see it's all here. So no more Windows for me. I have it only because I need a print, but as soon as this printer gives up, it will be a pure Linux printer. As you can see, I already have a Matrix printer. Epson works flawless with Linux, and I try to use as much as possible I can that instead of my laser printer. But unfortunately, some jobs require the Canon LBP 6200 printer. But like I said again, guys, if you know a solution how to make it work on OpenSUSE, please put the description down below and give me the tip how to do it, and I will be extremely happy. And please like and subscribe the channel. It will help the channel, appreciate it a lot. But now we go to the next part, the telemetry. Welcome back. Now let's talk about telemetry. In the first part we talked about advertisement, how Windows slowly start to shovel advertisement down your throat, regardless you want it or not. But now telemetry, that's a completely different level of gaming here. You see, both Microsoft, Google, Facebook, macOS, they're all using telemetry. Telemetry for them is a gold mine, and you are the gold. We are taking all your information and sell it to third parties, advertisement bureaus, other companies, and so on and so forth. The problem is that many of you don't have a clue how much data they're actually mining off of you. You see, telemetry, in this case Windows 11, they collect everything, literally everything you doing on your computer, every click, every mouse move, every software you opened. They know how long you use it and what you did with the software. They know, example, if you use a word, how many letters you put in, how many words, how many sentences, how long, how many minutes you've been inside this Word document. On web, they know how long you've been on each every page and what you clicked. Yes, they are telling you that this is taking away all the details that can identify you. But in the end, they still know who you are. Why? Because the federal government requires it. In case of you being under investigation, they need to be able to get over your data, and especially if you're using online account and online backup. Oh God, and they have everything about you in every small detail. So I'm not going to use my version or my understanding of telemetry. Let's see someone else saying about telemetry, because everybody says, you're wrong. Oh, we still have the phones. Yes, the phone are as bad as your computer. Doesn't matter if it's Windows, Mac, or Android or iPhone. It's all collecting huge amount of data. And yes, they're shoving it down your throat. Oh, you got it for free. No, you didn't. They are taking the money by literally selling you and your life story to someone else. And you're not getting a dime of it. Everything goes to the big corporation. Sorry. So now, let's take a look what someone else says about it. Here we are in Google. We just typed in telemetry, and you see it's even Microsoft themselves. Here you can see talking about it, and allow telemetry. I mean, in one point they're saying it's telemetry, and up here they're saying it's diagnostic data, which is it. Let's take a look on it and let's see what it's really about. Here we have it. What is exactly the... Here we have the definition. Telemetry is critical technical data collected from Windows devices, and if you have Mac OS devices, and provides information about the device, the computer you use, or Android phone or your iPhone, how the operation system and related software working in the background. Related software, meaning every other software you're using, they know about it. And they know how long and how much you use it. You see, the problem is the Windows privacy issue. And we know that many times Windows, Apple, Google, Facebook, and so on have been breached, and a lot of credit cards and other information have leaked. Oh, yes, exactly, because you put everything on Microsoft or Apple or Google or Facebook servers. They literally have a copy of your system. You see, you can disable it, but when it comes a major big update, it's all back on again. You see, that's a little bit of a problem. It is an automatic process that collects everything. Measure, monitor, improve services. Yes, that's the beautiful fairy tale they're telling you. But you see, I'm not so sure about their noble ways with saying, because it is about private policies, national and international laws, regulation. That's why some company like Facebook threatened to leave EU because they cannot collect telemetry anymore. And because telemetry is a big deal for them. It's the new gold mine. They're not earning money on operating system. It's all about services. And you see, they're saying that the anonymized telemetry, that is bullshit. We know very well that if they really want, they know exactly who you are. You just need to go one level deeper in the telemetry and they figure out who and where you are. I mean, how can Microsoft disconnect your Windows machine if I don't know who you are. Bullshit. They can deactivate it. And it happened. In my case, it happened for me. I changed the motherboard because the first one failed after 2 years, and I got a new one. And because it was different numbers on that, it was the same brand and the same model, but it was labeled a little bit differently. Microsoft automatically deactivated my license. And how could they do that if I didn't know who I am? Of course they know. They know very well who you are and where you are, and so on and so forth. And Apple the same. Apple even go one step further. They can even uninstall apps from your Mac and your iPhone if so necessary. We know it happened during the, let's say in Hong Kong, when 2 years ago or 3 years ago, the people started to protest against the Chinese government taking over Hong Kong and cutting down the democracy. They're using different programs, and suddenly Apple was forced to apply, and suddenly the apps was uninstalled on many iPhones. The same thing with Android. So you see, this is why it's very important not to give that information to someone, because literally you're giving up private information, and none of these companies can guarantee your security. That information won't be leaked in one way or another. Edward Snowden, as everybody knows, very well showed how it can be done. But the worst case scenario is if you have the biggest unlock, the ID theft of you. Then you can be a big problem, because you have stored everything: credit cards, driver license, your security numbers, and everything with these companies when you're using them. In worst case scenario, you can get ID theft and someone steal your ID. Then they can sell your house, they can take mortgages, loans, and buy stuff. And who is in trouble? You. You need to pay it back, or you need to battle it in court to show that it wasn't you. I know cases about that happened, and it's not a joke. Yeah, everybody says, it didn't happen to me. But when it happened, trust me, you don't want to be there. But there is a simple solution to all of it. Very, very simple solution. It's Linux. Simply Linux is simply the best you can do. Because in Linux, you don't have this problem. You don't have this problem with telemetry, and you don't have the problem with that it takes resources from your computer. And another thing is that what Microsoft doing is that they make your computer slower by time, and they can add some functions, and suddenly your computer is trash, even if it's maybe only 2 or 3 years old. With Linux, you don't need to worry about it. You can get Linux that is a couple hundred megabyte big, and you can run it on 10, 12 year old laptop. I have a very small Linux version running on an Acer that is 10, 11 years old, and my daughter uses it. It works. That's the point. Okay, it's not easy, but if you keep to the mainstream distributions and you're not doing some extreme customization of Linux, it will work. I have several cases where I know it works. For example, my parents, they were above 80, and they both use Linux on their computers. In this case, it's Linux is Ubuntu Mate, and we use it for several years, and that's not a single problem. I just come over once in a while and make an update because they're running the LTS kernel, and it just works without any problems. So if you don't tinker and edit and change tons of things, it will be rock solid stable. In my case, I'm using OpenSUSE because OpenSUSE is my choice of Linux. It hasn't been so always. So I've tried Fedora, Ubuntu, Arch, Pop!OS, and so on. But in my case, I like Linux better because I'm really fed up with one, Microsoft or Apple shoving down advertisement my throat, even when I pay for it. In this particular situation, Windows 11 Pro workstation, I don't want to have advertisement, and I don't want Microsoft to collect everything I do on PC. Okay, I have nothing to hide, somebody says. It's not about that. It's about principle. When you go out on the street, or you go out for the evening with your friends, are you bringing everything with you? Are you telling everybody everything? No. Or you giving up your credit card to everybody? So why you should do it because you're sitting behind a screen and you're doing it? What if Microsoft get breached again, or Apple get breached, or Google or Facebook, and they have your credit cards and they can do nasty thing with that can give you in trouble for years forward. No, use Linux and you will be at least 2 points of worry you can remove, because you won't have the spying of you, the telemetry, and foremost the advertisement shoved down your throat, regardless you want it or not. My recommendation is try one of the Ubuntu's. Linux Mint as well is good, and I promise you, you won't have this problem. And today on YouTube you can find many tutorials how to do it, how to learn about Linux. It was different when I started back in the 1997, 98, 99. There were no YouTube that you could learn. Then it was hard work to learn, but today you can watch many videos and you can learn everything you need in Linux in just a couple of days if you want. Or if you're lucky, have grandchildren or children, they can teach you very fast and you learn it very quickly. Today's Linux is as graphic friendly as Windows or Mac OS, so don't worry about it. But primarily, be aware of the hidden advertisement in Windows and the telemetry, because these two will increase. The evidence for it, in Windows 7 we didn't have much telemetry, pretty much one I think, but if you compare 8, 8.1, 10 and Windows 11, you can see it's huge increase in telemetry and huge increase in advertisement. So for God of love, change if you can. I know your situation that you can't, and I respect that, but if you can, change. And if you like this channel, please give a thumb up and click on the bell notification and subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it. Till next time, hi guys.